I've lived in Seville for almost a decade, so I'm going to show you these landmarks. Plaza of Spain, Mary Louise Park, and the Guadalquivir River. They epitomize Seville's foreign bureaucracy and city centre leisure. Following the river, there is Torre Pelli, which is now called Tower of Seville. There's also the Tower of Gold, and on the way to the fairground. The cool architecture of the Jewish district and the largest Gothic temple in the world. The Cathedral of the Herald Angel and the district of the Saint's Cross, featuring the mushrooms, place of the bulls, of the royal headmistress, of female horse riders of Seville, plus all the down-to-earth footage in between, and the royal palace. I'll show what all these have to offer. High above the puppy muck, this is Plaza de España, or Plaza of Spain. It was built in 1928. It's where they filmed the latest Star Wars film, Episode 2. I'll try not to let the stock footage watermark to distract in some clips. You will be drawn to many fountains like this in summer, not just for photo opportunities, but for respite in Europe's hottest major city. These poor horses are enslaved in over 40 degrees Celsius for a week, for 40 euros tariff, and can count how many die each day during the famous Feria fair. And according to my roof thermometer, some days are over 50 Celsius, so will easily kill my garden. Seville is always in drought situation, but they like to attract tourists. So come when it's cooler, add 5 degrees to whatever the forecast says, or cover up and run for the shadows. When dusk falls, the vampires come out to play, in the form of mosquitoes who suck plants. So I will call the ones to worry about mosquitas, because only the females suck blood. Of the 700 or 800 West Nile virus victims last year of all of Europe, 9% died, so you really don't want the chance for them to bite you. This wasn't an issue before, but it is now, but not yet for dengue or malaria. Seville is not very far from the African continent in that red sandstorms sometimes blow over once per year, smattering every surface. It's not like Britain when the peak solar hours are at noon. Here they peak at 5 p.m. and take a lot longer to cool down. So weather warnings now say for some days, stay indoors and eat juicy fruit to keep hydrated, like eating watermelon. Spaniards take a siesta, a short sleep, during the day, so some supermarkets shut at 2:30 and open again at 5:30, but you are lucky if they have the courtesy to show this timing or are a business that opens punctually. Overcast days are rare, usually 10 to 20 degree range, only over Christmas to February. The residents cancel classes if it rains, so expect only the native English teachers to enjoy a natural warm shower. Humidity is not an issue, it's just the days of intense heat. At Plaza de España, even if you don't want to paddle around its semicircular moat in a boat, it's fun to watch the majority not knowing how to row, going round in a circle and bumping into everything. Star Wars is not the only cinematic extravaganza to be filmed in Seville. Game of Thrones were here in several places like the Alcazar. That's for another video. Italica, an amazing excavated Roman centre of Hadrian, plus plenty of Spanish series which I have been a background artist in. Though the setup for these arts are in Malaga, it has a larger airport than Seville's. Environmentally friendly buses are great and work until 10 or 11 o'clock. Plenty of Prius taxis, even one Maserati, and some Teslas, but all are extortionate from the Santa Justa train station. Coaches are cheap, but long journeys with conflicting advice from the official kiosk versus the operator. Metros are seldom and cannot be purchased for more than a month's pass. Express trains can be more expensive than flight, but just as quick, all in all. Behind this building is one major bus station with tram and metro connection called San Bernardo, but the main bus station is Plaza de Armas, a few kilometers down the road, upriver. This first episode lingers on this one place, because it's in the central park called Maria Luisa, but more of that in the next video. It's a tourist hub of flamenco dance, sweet kiosks, high-class restaurants facing the Lopez de Vegas Theatre, at different times of the year a venue for music, international food, beverage and paraphernalia stores, inflatables for kids and police station for foreigners, annual bureaucracy for teachers, army museum, but watch out, pickpockets. This 1928 exhibition building is only the largest of that era. It is surrounded by dozens more as well as dozens again for the 1988 exhibition of science and technology. The devil is in the detail. The very stones you walk on around the fountain, with comfortable shoes I hope, are Greek, Umayyad, and Roman style, black and white pebbles, and naturally tested with time in fierce ravines. They have great traction, unlike cobbles around the world, but bicycles can sigh in relief because Seville has one of Europe's largest network of bike tracks, when they are not newly potholed or undulated due to the root of trees that are spoilt with almost 3,300 hours of sunshine per year, so in Europe that's only beaten by 2 cities in Cyprus. If you can get past the mimes, buggies, and beggars, its welcoming shade with 50,000 square meters and 515-meter canal quickly turns green with the action of ducks. 4 bridges represent the 4 ancient kingdoms of Spain, but beautifully tiled on its middle facade are the 49 provinces of Spain. For those who have stayed with me and are admiring the architecture, its Spanish regionalism mixing Renaissance and Baroque revival plus neo-Mudéjar styles, a typical evolution of architect Aníbal González, still adding Art Deco and mock Mudéjar over 15 years of its build. His teachers were Bosco and Lampérez. So where to stay and what to eat? There are 15,000 tourist beds, half of them official, in hotel chains like Ibis and NH Collection. Backpacker hostels are called hosteles or pensiones. Plus, of course, there are plenty of Airbnb and bespoke expat rooms. If food is on a budget, bring a packed lunch, especially if vegan. It is very far from an eatery. But catering for all, there's always salad and patatas bravas, which are prismatic and cubic fried potato. Just be careful with mayo versus chili sauce, which they will have no qualms about randomly drowning them in either. So hold what you don't need, and if you can't live without it, bring your own mustard and vinegar. They tend to have olive oil only. Tap water is fluoridated, but you can buy delicious bottled water from Granada from 17 cents per litre. I don't condone ethanol imbibe, but I advise you to bring your own supermarket plant milk. Local tapas bar and cafe establishments rarely know what these are, but will happily sell you UHT and chemically sweetened fruit juice. Fresh orange juice if it's the season. The good news about the stagnant water is that dragonfly, bats, and swallowtail birds feast on the mosquitas. But for further wildlife aside the pigeons, you'll have to follow me in the next video showcasing Parque Maria Luisa and whatever else my accessible footage can muster for 8 minutes. After my outro, I'm going to add 2 3D reels, so if anyone has VR headset, please do comment if it works or whether it's too grainy, probably 5 times less resolution. Remember, I have 10 years experience living here, sometimes very close to this landmark, so feel free to ask questions and I will comment if you like it. Put a ring on it.